Everything man has created has led to the destruction of something else. Man created buildings, destroyed forests, built industries, polluted air and water around them, created bombs, destroyed peace. Such widespread strain has not come without consequence. The Earth's fragile ecosystem has been put to the test like never before. We are on the verge of crisis which could threaten mankind's very existence. Global warming today has reached a crisis point due to the ever so many factors contributing to it. And yet, so few solutions are available for remedy. Only time will tell if these solutions will work. Today we explore one such solution which starts right at the bottom of marine food chain.
The food chain in water, as on land, begins with plants. Phytoplankton, the plant form of plankton, forms the absolute bottom of the food chain in the oceans. Phytoplankton obtains energy through the process of photosynthesis and therefore lives in the well-lit surface layer of the oceans, lakes and other water bodies. Phytoplankton accounts for half of all photosynthetic activity on Earth.
Diatom algae are microscopically small plants that have silica cell walls and are responsible for more than 50% of the world's marine food. Blue-green algae are cyanobacteria that have cellulose cell walls. Cellulose is not easily digested by marine animals and hence they do not support extensively the food chain. Blue-green algae proliferate heavily in polluted water bodies, giving the water bluish-green tone. Sometimes they release toxins that are not only harmful for the aquatic animals but also for the terrestrial animals like cattle.
Diatoms, on the other hand, absorb nutrients and carbon dioxide, producing food and oxygen by photosynthesis. The oxygen released helps aerobic bacteria in breaking down the organics and converting the pollutants to base constituents.
For millions of years, plankton have provided oxygen and nourishment for larger marine creatures. But today, because of the alarming pollution, plankton is at a grave threat. And so is our fragile ecosystem.
Mr. Sampath Kumar, hailing from Bangalore, seems to have found a proactive solution for this pressing problem. After years of experimentation, he finally came up with Nualgi, which helps in the bloom of diatoms in water.
It appears that the diatoms provide only food for the zooplankton and fishes, but that is not true. It is much more than that. It absorbs carbon dioxide, it absorbs nutrients and provides plenty of oxygen and food in the food chain. Whatever happens, the quantum of carbon that is fixed is something incredible. You have to realize that more than 40% of the world's 50 to 55 billion tons of carbon that is fixed is done by the diatoms in the oceans, and it is equivalent to almost the entire tropical rainforest. How much carbon is fixed, it equals that. So then the diatoms are in turn consumed by the small animals called zooplankton. The zooplankton are in turn consumed by the fishes, small fishes, and the small fishes are consumed bigger fishes till it reaches the seals, the whales, the walruses, and the bigger animals. Ultimately it reaches man, and via the polar bears and things like that. So it forms the entire food chain for the marine food chain. My first contact with the diatoms was when I started a hatchery in Mahabalipuram. At that time we needed to grow live food for the growth of the prawns. So what we did was we used to add all the salts and along with EDTA and produce the diatoms in a very conventional way. Then I realized that the diatoms need silica cell walls and then all the nutrients that a plant requires as it grows in land.
Based on his industrial experience and exhaustive reading, Mr. Sampath developed a nano compound containing all nutrients for diatom growth. Extensive experiments were carried out in the backwaters at New Napalayam in North Chennai.
Then I realized that the diatoms, they have a golden brown in color. So if you add any nutrient to any water body, the color of the water has to become golden brown.
More changes had to be done to the compound to make it work in fresh and polluted waters. Nualgi was ready for commercial consumption in 2005.
Any plant that needs to grow needs about plenty of micronutrients that is available to it at the place where it is existing. Now microplants, they are all in very small size, they are distributed toward the length and breadth of water. Now the water should contain all the nutrients that the microplant needs for it to absorb. So what I thought was, if diatoms have silica cell walls, probably they need silica in a large quantity, and then they will need all the micronutrients to be available where they are growing. Now in any of these water bodies, if you add any inorganic form, the cations and anions will react and they will precipitate out of the system. They will not be dispersed in the water. So that is a big problem. So then I devised a method to make a nanotechnology compound. What I did was, I had a base compound which is made of silica, and on that I loaded all the micronutrients that are required for the plant growth. Now those things are stable even in the sea water or any polluted water. So once they are stable, all the nutrients are dispersed in the water body. Once the nutrients are available in the water body, they bloom very fast. They bloom very fast, they absorb carbon dioxide, they absorb the nutrients, they give out oxygen, and they produce plenty of food in the system. The entire food is consumed by the zooplankton, and it goes on to the height of the food chain.
The growing diatoms absorb carbon dioxide and nutrients and release oxygen by photosynthesis.
The oxygen produced helps aerobic bacteria clean up the entire water body, and the whole thing, the blooming of the diatoms ends up cleaning up the water body and producing plenty of food for the marine system.
The fishermen started using Nualgi to aerate sewage polluted waters and prevent fish kill. They made a surprising discovery. Whenever Nualgi was used, the cyanobacteria growing in the ponds used to crash and float as scum. This is now a standard method to remove blue-green algae. Nualgi has been tried at several sewage-laden lakes in Bangalore, which include the lakes at Madiwala, Alsur, Vengayanakere, Puttanahalli, and so on. In a number of cases, there was mass fish kill, where Nualgi solved the problem.
On 15th and 16th of June 2005, there was a mass fish kill in Puttanelli Lake. This lake is near south of Bangalore. Now we went there and we found that the dissolved oxygen content in the water had almost become zero. Normally below 1.5 the fishes will die. So then we told the Pollution Control Board chairman that we can solve this problem very easily. We said we have a product called Nualgi that can grow diatoms, that can produce by photosynthesis plenty of oxygen in the system. Very soon we can bring up the dissolved oxygen. He said, okay. Then he placed an order with us, and then we dosed it over a period of 2 days, the entire thing. Then we found that they had tested the dissolved oxygen content of the Puttani lake before and after addition of Nualgi. They found that initially it was from 0.5 to 0.9, that was the reading, and within 5 days the dissolved oxygen content increased to about nearly 5, 5.5, 9 some places, and it was very well above.
ಮೀನು ಸತ್ತೋದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಒಂದು ನೀಲ್ ಒಂದು 30,000 ಫಿಶ್ ಸತ್ತಾಯಿತು. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡೇ ಒಂದು 20,000 ಸತ್ತೋಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂಆಲ್ಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಿತಿನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಕಲರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಡೈಲಿ 2 kg 3 kg ಆ ಥರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗಲಿ ಮೀನು ಸತ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗಲಿ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
The Karnataka Government Fish Farmers Development Corporation use Nualgi in all their fish hatcheries in Karnataka. The Assistant Director of Fisheries has even issued certificates testifying the benefits of using Nualgi.
City area, because of the anthropological activities, all types of sewages. Actually, what happens, they're telling they will divert the sewage, and if the diverted sewage definitely cannot enter this particular lake, but it enters another lake with some deviations. And the DO levels of so many lakes, around out of 80 lakes, I could say one is the Bairamangala lake. The DO level is below 1 degree, so below 1 mg per liter, below 1 mg. Any aquatic life should sustain between only 6.5 to 8.5 DO level mg. But here we can see only 1, below 1. And whatever Sampath Kumar given that Nualgi, we put in our aquaria and we tested. Slowly that DO level is rising. I could see the Bairamangala lake DO is around 1 mg per liter. After 8 days, we could see 3.5. So I think this is a very good results are coming on. Second thing, the fish size also getting grown. We are using the fish. We used to put some other earthworms to the feed. Now we need not put some feed. This Nualgi taken by the fish is going very faster, and his health also very good.
ನಮ್ಮದು ಅನುಭವ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೀನು ಅದು ಸತ್ತೋದಾಗಿಂದ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಕೆಜಿಲಿ ಇದು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆವಾಗಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಇದಾಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟು. ಇದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮೀನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. 8 kg ಇದೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮೀನು, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಗಲೀಜು ನೀರು ಬಂದರೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಯೂಸ್ನ ನಾವು ಅನುಕೂಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಅನುಕೂಲಕ್ಕೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
Ashok Leyland, it was a very interesting case. We had a fish shrimp exhibition where we exhibited our product. So where we exhibited, we had a visitor from Ashok Leyland. He had come and then seen our product and said, "Can your product give oxygen in the water?" Then I asked him, what was the problem? Then he said, all the during when it rains heavily outside, all those waters used to come with polluted waters used to come and enter their premises, and in their premises they had a lake where the fishes used to die. So the pollution control board said that if it is dying in their premises, they are responsible for it. Then he didn't know how to do and how to solve the problem. Then I said, you take my product Nualgi, you dose it into your compound, into your lake, and there your problem will be solved. And then they mentioned about this solution in their Corporate Social Responsibility Report 2005-2006.
Nualgi has also been used for other purposes. It prevents wild growth of water weeds like water hyacinth by improving the water quality. Sewage treatment is a capital-intensive task. The effluents are treated initially in an effluent treatment plant before release into the water body.
Nualgi is actually a very cost-effective solution for so many problems, myriad of problems. Wherever you have effluent treatment plants, you are using aerators, and you need surface contact between oxygen and the water body, and you have to dissolve the oxygen, and that oxygen, it is very expensive. It needs a lot of power. Now Nualgi can be used in any water body. All you need to do is dissolve it in a tank and add it to the water body. as it progresses, as it flows down the downstream, it goes on blooming, the diatoms goes on blooming, producing oxygen in situ, and it helps the aerobic bacteria break down the organics, and as the water flows down, it helps zooplankton grow, and then the zooplankton is eaten by the fishes. So your entire sewage or any polluted organic biomass in the system just get converted into a fish biomass. So you can really, your per capita production of protein is very, very large. The entire biomass gets converted as fish biomass. It can be eaten by all the people because it is a very economical solution. And you don't need very large plants like your effluent treatment plants, which are very high capital investment, and then you need a lot of land and a lot of other resources. There is no power is required. So you can, once you do that, you can really treat very large bodies of water. Now, what large bodies of, you can treat the Yamuna, you can treat large lakes like the Dal Lake.
Red tides are due to the proliferation of dinoflagellates in the water. They help growth of jellyfish instead of finfish. This situation is caused primarily by the dumping of untreated waste into the sea.
How do you solve this? Now we have to first see that the sewage is treated in the land and sent into the water body, into the oceans. But since a lot of these countries are really very poor, they can't really afford to treat the sewage. They just dump it into the ocean. Now instead of doing that, if they add a Nualgi along with the sewage and send it into any water body, they'll find progressively the water will get cleaned, and that the blooming diatoms will produce the oxygen, the aerobic bacteria will break down the organics, and then the entire organic biomass will get converted into fish biomass. So all this will happen if you add Nualgi into the water. You will find that as the water is cleaned up, no more food organic mass is there at the bottom of the ocean for the dinoflagellates to bloom and take the nutrition from. Once the nutrition is cut, you will find that the dinoflagellates, red tides boom coming down, and then progressively you will find that no more red tides will come into the system. This is what you can do it by using our Nualgi in the system.
All over the world, there's algal remediation of lakes, but there's no control of the species of algae growing. Blue-green algae proliferate, resulting in unsolved problems. No such treatment is available that uses diatom algae for bioremediation. With new algae, it all starts with plankton.